Welcome to the COMC Community Spotlight Show here on Lake TV. It's brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we've got our friend Aaron Allen with us this week. He is the Activities Director and the Transportation Director at Versailles High School. Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
Man, I always love the opportunity to come and visit and hang out with you guys, and you do a lot for our community. So the drive down here seems pretty easy to be able to talk about it and hang with you guys for a little bit.
As long as there's not construction.
That's right. That's right.
So you're the Activities Director, which means you're coordinating all the different activities, not just sports, but other things too.
Correct. Yep.
Right? And then transportation. So you got to keep all the buses flowing and going to all those activities and everything. I don't know how you keep all that straight.
Well, you got good people, and we were just talking before we turned this on that we've got a good crew. Starts with our secretary, Tiffany Shuck. She's amazing in our office. And then obviously for the admin groups and people just to pick up those things if I have to go drive a bus. But it's a blessing and a curse, because if I change the leave time for an activity, I just got to talk to myself and the bus driver. I don't have to go through somebody else.
That is nice. Right?
Blessing and a curse. You just got to keep that in mind.
But you have to have that bus driver's license, because every once in a while you got to go drive the bus.
That's right. As a coach, you know, Mr. Middleton always came in and threw the paper down and said, "When are you going to get your CDL?" And no, never. And it was one of the things where it's a forced life skill that I don't think I'll ever get rid of now. It's it's convenient, it's nice, it's easy to be able to help people out, and it's not too bad driving a bus.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and it certainly helps from the perspective of what the drivers are going through and what the challenges are, because you're doing it too.
100%. I mean, as a coach, you always say, "Hey, I'm not going to put you anything I wouldn't go through or haven't been through myself."
Yeah.
When you put those driver's shoes on and you try to fill them, you know exactly where they're coming from and the information from admin and kids. And so I'm definitely getting a feel for them, and we've got an awesome group. They've helped me a bunch my first year learning, and I respect them, man. Any bus driver who goes through it, because there's a lot of communication and they go through a lot of stuff. And as a coach, I never saw it. I just knew I got on and I got to my destination. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and for good reason. I mean, you got everything on your mind for being a coach. Now, you played football, ran track in college, so you were an athlete, and more so track. I mean, it seems like track was more your sport, right?
Yeah, I love track and field. I went 1 year underneath Willie Fritz at UCM for football, and just transitioned that to 5 years of track with Kip Janvrin, who's just now retired from that position at UCM. So had a good relationship with him. He taught me a bunch of life skills, and I always questioned why he kept me around, because I was just a walk-on. But another great opportunity in your life you can't turn away, because that's where I met my wife, and we ran on the same team together. And
wow, she's a track athlete too, right?
Yep, holds the Versailles High School pole vault record still, and
wow,
that's where she went to go pole vault, and she was way better. I'll get that on camera. She was way better at scoring points for UCM than I was. So
right. So that's very cool that you get to come back home for her, since Versailles is her hometown. You grew up in Butler, I think, and stuff. So you're a small town guy. You love being in Versailles.
Yeah, I do. I really do. We had went to college with a bunch of people from the area, and then hanging around her and dating her and coming back and actually working at Bear Bottom Resort for a while. I knew several of the community members. I knew several of the people going to be involved, and very easy transition. I love the hometown community, the small town feeling that you get, and I got that in Butler. And sometimes you just know when your time's done. And thankful Brock Silvers gave me a call over Christmas break and was able to get me over here, because it's been a blessing. Not to say I wouldn't trade anything for Butler. It taught me a lot about my career, got me started, and I appreciate that. But man, it's been awesome. It's been an awesome experience here, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That is so cool. So you say that school culture is a very important thing at Versailles. What does that mean? What is school culture?
Well, school culture, I think, gets thrown around a lot in schools, and to be able to define that is really about how you play. It's not about what you talk about. I mean, that's in everything. You can talk about it, you can do it, but when you really see it is when people know, man, that's a good place to go. That's a good position. And when you have people who are willing to step up, do things the right way. And we were talking about, our previous game this last week in Eldon. I'm watching our kids on the sideline, and we bust one off. The kid comes over and makes a tackle, and we've got another kid behind him, goes over on the sideline, and our kid purposely reaches up, picks him up, pats him on the shoulder, tucks his pad away. Like, this is an opponent team, and it's a 12 to 13 game that we're battling in. And just some of the things I saw, they're cheering each other on, they're talking, they're not screaming and pointing at each other. And that's just from the football aspect. But when you do things the right way, you're talking about integrity, character, hard work, and it's not just a handout or who we are, what we should be, and what we deserve. So you've got to earn that, and that's what our coaches are really putting forth this year.
Well, and it's so important because if kids aren't taught these things, then they're not going to have them for the rest of their life.
That's right.
You know, and sometimes they get them at home. Hopefully they're getting it at home, but it always helps, even if they are getting it at home, to get it backed up of how to live with integrity and how to be a good sport and all that stuff. That's what high school sports is supposed to be about.
100%. I think sometimes the athletic department gets a knock because all we care about is athletics.
Mm-hmm.
When that's not true. There's so many life skills that are taught within the athletic department. If you have good staff members, if you have good coaches, the work ethic of what it takes, things aren't going to be handed to you. You're fighting for the same thing as the other person on the other side is fighting for. And you know, our athletes get held to a high standard. Their citizenship through mission, through our school, their academic eligibility is held to a higher standard. And so when you put those numbers up about regular student body population to athletics or activities, those kids are meant to excel and to continue to go on. And we just are trying to pull as many kids into those programs as possible because those life lessons are valuable and they're taught there.
They really are. I mean, there's a reason why there are sports in high school, and it's not just about winning and losing.
That's right.
In fact, that's further down the line, or it should be anyway. So we're talking with Aaron Allen. He's the activities director and the transportation director at Versailles High School. We'll continue this conversation when we come back on the COMC Community Spotlight Show. Central Ozarks Medical Center, voted Missouri's best and best at the lake, is recruiting team members due to growth. Amazing employment opportunities for both medical and non-medical positions with competitive salaries and outstanding perks. For more information, go to the Careers tab at centralozarks.org. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Join a leader. Join our team. COMC, where your health is our mission. If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the Polar Plunge to festivals, parades, Aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV. Welcome back to the COMC Community Spotlight Show presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center. We're talking with Aaron Allen, Activities Director, Transportation Director at Versailles High School. Versailles, I've told you this before and it's true, they are very blessed to have you there. Thank you for the work that you do. If there was one thing about Versailles High School you would want people to know, what would that be?
Well, the one thing I think when social media gets involved and all the other discussions get involved is we hired 27 new coaches last year. 27? 27. Wow. And sometimes people reach out and they go, what's going on? I think we got a text from Will, who's very invested in Versailles. It's his alum. But
right, yeah.
What's going on? What's happening? And, I just want to comfort people and go, hey, we've got really good people in good spots. And a majority of those are Versailles alumni coming back to doing what they want to do and give back to their community. And I reach out with Coach Daniels, who was taking over our football program. Mm-hmm. The remaining 4 on there, we've got Cooper Wilson, who we brought back from Brookfield, and Cooper is well known in our area as well. And we brought up Jason Vansel from the middle school to the high school. That's the first time Versailles has all had alumni staff involved.
Wow.
We bring over Pete Filatico from Fatima for middle school football. Now moving to volleyball, Tessa Edgar's our new head volleyball coach. And she's got her first win as a head coach last Monday against Stover. Tuesday. 1-3-1. Went to Tipton on Thursday and won 3-0 there. Wow. So hot start. We got a game against California coming up pretty soon, and we hope to continue that rolling. Basketball, Andy Moon is taking over our girls program, along with Barry Marshall, who's been a part of our programs. Boys basketball, Wyatt Espinoza, Kobe Williams, also football, basketball, and he's going to take over the head track job, so Kobe's getting a lot of work in. But we have a lot of good stuff going on, and it took a little bit to make the puzzle pieces fit. But I think we've got the grid stuck there, and we want to make sure the glue stays there and build our foundation about who we want to come and create that culture.
Yeah.
We challenge our coaches to do what they want to do. Don't look over their shoulder. And as long as you're taking care of kids, it's hard for me not to support you.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is important for people to know is we have good people who are going to truly take care of your kids and believe in them.
That is very good to know. And again, I think Versailles is very blessed to have you over there. And you are very invested yourself. I mean, there's like nothing you won't do to raise money for a good charity or for good schools. I think you allowed yourself to be arrested one time, and I think you even spent some time in jail.
I have, yeah. When I was in Butler and taught elementary PE, that was K through 6 in my 9 years there in Butler. We had a good run, a jump rope for heart, and basically you're raising money for kids with heart defects for the American Heart Association.
Yeah.
And when I got there, we got this little piece of paper, and it was like, congratulations, you raised $1,500. And that was okay, and then we went through, and I was like, what does this banner mean? And one thing led to the other. It helped with my professional development, helped pay for that side. But the year I was there, the last 5 years, we were the top fundraising school in the state of Missouri. And we raised over $10,000, and that's because in a small community just like the size of Versailles,
Yeah.
I've jumped out of an airplane in a red dress.
What?
And landed at the softball field with the school watching. Red dress is the little pennant for American Heart Association. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not just.
So there was a reason.
There's
for
a
that.
reason for the
Okay.
red dress. I've slept on top of the school building, camped out over the night. I bought a dunk tank and set it out there at recess, and kids could do that all day. And anything to get kids motivated and have a purpose, because if they don't know what it's for and they're looking around at other kids, and we're helping kids at the same time, and I can be really truthful. I wouldn't be doing those things on my own if it wasn't having 600 elementary kids behind me watching me. So jumping out of an airplane is not something you just do on your own.
You've done it twice.
I've done it twice.
Yeah.
We had a good group of state athletes, track athletes, and the seniors said, hey, if we make this, we win a district championship, will you go with us? And unfortunately, it was the week before the state track meet, so I'm like, please everybody land. So,
Yeah.
not just for the points, but obviously for the kids. But man, it's good getting kids involved and showing them that you're with them right there, and it's okay to have fun. It's okay to let loose and to experience that with the kids is really fun. But spent the day in jail. I got arrested at a PEP assembly. We kept it on Facebook Live, and I went back to the jail. And then obviously you can't film there, but I filmed some stuff in the cell, and that was a scary moment. I hope I never end up in again unless it's plotted. So that opened my eyes.
Absolutely. We're down to our last minute and a half here, but I'm sure there are, so many good things that are happening at Versailles High School, in your time since you've taken over there. What are some things you have targeted that you want to keep working on, you want to keep improving there?
Well, I think, coaching retention. We've talked about the good stuff of bringing others, and that doesn't mean we forgot about the coaches that came before us or the kids that became before us. But I've been working with Jason Vansel, who is our history guru, and we're redoing the banners. Some of those things in the gym haven't been updated correctly, and we went all the way back to apparently Tri-County had a boys softball, and we didn't know that until we dug in. So I'm really digging into Versailles history and trying to pour that, because we owe it to the people before us.
Yeah.
To represent them well, make sure that they're known and not just forgotten. There's a lot of things that have been maybe skipped over or missed, and it's hard to keep up. And I'm really trying to organize that to get recognition where it's known and what it looks like while making our facilities look better as well.
That's so neat. And with your wife being a Versailles girl, then, it really is just kind of a hometown thing, and you're really invested. Thank you so much for making the trip down. We'll have to do this more often, and good luck to the Versailles programs and everything.
Well, thank you. I, again, appreciate the time and the effort you guys do. I know you have Lake TV coming up, and all the things that you do for our coaches and putting our kids out there and our community out there for everybody to see. So it's very much appreciated equally. Thank you.
All right. So there he is. It is Aaron Allen, and thank you so much for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.